Welcome back to another episode with Bobby Kahn. Subscribe, like, and share. And if you're not following me on Instagram already, go follow me on Instagram. It's Real Bobby Kahn. I started my YouTube channel and my Instagram page as a way of bringing light to situations, causes that are near and dear to my heart. And one of those causes today I'm going to talk about is stray animals. I love animals. I never did before, but now I am a sucker for an animal. And a stray animal, a wounded animal, or an animal that is experiencing neglect and torture by somebody, that will get to me more than anything else. You can show me a guy dying of cancer, and that won't bother me as much as a cat dying or being left to starve in the streets. Because you know what? A human can speak, but these innocent animals, they can't speak. And a lot of us think that, it's only an animal. I get comments from people like, it's only a dog or it's only a cat. Well, guess what? It's their world as much as it's our world. All God's creations have the right to live a life, a peaceful life, a healthy life, and a life where they can have food and survive. Because it's their land like it is ours. Just because we're bigger and we can talk doesn't mean that they mean nothing. And this came to me. In my old life, I wasn't an animal person. I never had animals growing up. I never liked animals growing up. Besides tigers, which obviously, if you follow me, you know I love tigers. I didn't care for any other animals. And when I went to Dubai, we moved into this place. And the first day I was there, I look outside in the garage area, and I see these three cats. And they're dirty. They're like mangy. And one of them had like a scar on its face. It was fresh, like it was kind of bleeding. And I just grabbed at me and said, you got to do something for them. So I yelled to my wife. I said, babe, we got something to, feed these cats? And she said, no, we don't have any cat food at the moment. But let me give them Cheerios because...
Fruit Loops.
Oh, Fruit Loops. Yeah, it was Fruit Loops. That's what we fed them. And they ate it up and they were hungry. And that was it. After that day, these cats kept coming back every day. It was clockwork, right? Yep. At that time. And then more and more started showing up. So I started looking like, where are all these cats coming from? And then we started walking through the neighborhood and you just see stray cats everywhere. Well, it turns out in Dubai currently, there's over 4 million stray cats roaming the streets. 4 million cats. Why? Because they don't have what we have. Like we have the ASPCA here. Yeah, we have so many, the Humane Society. We have so many people that are animal people here that are willing to jump in and help if an animal's in need. If, organizations, there's countless people here that are willing to help and do stuff for animals. And they don't have that stuff there. Like they have vets and stuff that maybe will do something, but they're not like they are here. Like for example, we had one cat that we rescued one time and he was sick. We took him to the vet and the vet turned us away because he said, you don't have papers. Because when I was in Dubai, I was an illegal immigrant. Yeah, I'm an American citizen. I was in Dubai, considered an illegal immigrant. So the veterinarian would not take care of this sick animal. They just kicked him out. They don't have what we have here. And that changed the way I looked at things and how I perceived animals. And from that day forward, I became a sucker for animals. And every day, till the last day I was in Dubai, we fed these cats that were roaming around in our neighborhood, and morning and evening. Every day at 6 o'clock, every morning at 8 a.m. we fed them. And we would put blocks of ice out there because in like containers. So that way, because in 120-degree weather, the water's going to be boiling in 2 seconds. So if we put blocks of ice out there, at least it's colder for a little bit longer. And we would put, cat food all through the neighborhood. And it got to a point where we were feeding upwards of almost 100 cats a day. 100 cats in just our neighborhood that were just walking around. And these cats were so loving, so compassionate. Like they knew. You'd be walking down the street and all of a sudden they knew. Like they would run from everybody else, but I would walk through the neighborhood and next thing you know, they'd all start walking. Like I felt like, what was that movie where he's walking and next thing you know, you look behind and there's like every type of animal walking behind him. It was like that, and I was known in that neighborhood as like the cat guy, as the animal guy. Like, so people will come up to, hey, there's a stray cat down here that's injured. You want to go take care of him? Or there's an animal over there that's hungry. You want, like, and I felt good about it because I felt when I would go home after doing this and feeding these cats, I felt some kind of relief. I felt lighter, and I felt good that I was actually helping, things, animals, people. Like, they're not people, but they have hearts, they have feelings, and I'm helping get, they have one more meal. Okay, they can get hit by a car tomorrow, they can die from heat stroke, whatever. But at least I know that I fed them one more meal. And you know what? We saw a lot of cats get killed. I would walk outside and we'd see a dead cat laying, and I'd have to bury the cat. I mean, we buried so many animals there. It was insane because people there have no compassion. I'll give you one example. We had a cat, and we called him Beast. He's a huge cat, right? And he would eat a lot. We would feed him a lot. He was sitting on the sidewalk, just sitting there minding his own business, and some asshole drives his car onto the sidewalk and runs him over, crushed his skull. We saw cats where people threw hot oil because they were trying to shoo them out in front of their driveway. We saw one cat that we rescued. It was somebody picked him up. It was a baby. It was a kitten, and they dumped him in a drum of black oil, motor oil. This cat for 6 months was like, just black was coming out of his nose. It was crazy. We saw cats that people cut the tails, bashed them in the head with something, and these poor cats are running around. They can't even open their mouth properly. What kills me is seeing an animal hurt, because you know what? They can't speak. They can't tell you they're in pain. And all they want is love, and all they want is food. So one of the causes that I'm going to be working tirelessly towards is helping stray animals worldwide, not just here in the U.S. A lot needs to be done. Countries like India, a lot of Asia, okay? Asian people, they treat their animals like crap, okay? I'm not being racist or discriminating anybody. It's just a proven fact. Asian countries, Pakistan, India, Vietnam, all these places, they abuse their animals, and those animals need our help, and I would love to team up with people that are willing to help with these animals and getting them food, getting them shelter, just whatever we can do. I mean, you can't rescue every animal, and you're not going to be able to find homes for a lot of these animals. And the sad fact is that these animals are going to live their life as strays. But if I can even make the smallest impact and say I could provide food for X amount, I know that I did something good, and I'll feel better about it. I want your help. I want to help. If you know people that are doing this, put me in contact with them. If you know of animals in an area that need help, let me know. Maybe I can hook up somebody that's in that area that is doing this, where they're helping animals with those animals. That's what I want to do. This is one of the causes that I'm passionate towards, and you're going to be seeing a lot more posts about me, animals, working with animals, my thoughts on animals, videos about animals. And if you're following me for any other reason, well, then you can unfollow me, because you know what? This is my page, and I will be talking about what I'm passionate about. And right now, I'm going to be talking about animals. I will still share stories about my past. I will still share stories about my 2 cents on certain topics. For example, if I did something, and my 2 cents on why I did something, or why I shouldn't have done it, or even my 2 cents on what's happening in the world. You'll still get that, but you will start seeing more animal posts from me. And this is just one of the causes. I will be sharing other causes when the time is right that I'm passionate about and that I want to work towards. And I'm going to use my resources because I have a Rolodex of people that I've met over the years. And I'm going to be reaching out to these people and saying, look, this is what I'm doing. Are you interested in helping me get the word out? Are you interested in helping me take care of something here? That's what I'm looking to do. So today, if you see an animal that's in need, think twice. Feed it, pet it, do something for it. If you could do the smallest bit of good in life, trust me, you're going to feel totally different. I can say this from experience because I lived a life where it was go, 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 go all the time. And I never stopped to look at the small things in life that mattered. I never paid attention to anything else because I was oblivious. I had blinders on. I was focused on my life and just work. And that was it. And then when I had the time, when there was no phone calls weren't, driving me nuts and people weren't calling me all day long, I managed to look around and realize there's more to this world than fancy cars, big homes, jewelry, pleasing people. I want to leave this world with some sort of legacy. I want to be able, when I die tomorrow, I want to be able to know that my kids can look at me and say, you know what, Dad did this, and Dad helped these people, or Dad helped in this situation. That would be my legacy, is being able to help as many people as possible moving forward. Because, everything happens for a reason. And I question this a lot. Like, why did my life take a turn like this? And you know what? Now I know, because I think there was more I needed to do in life than just be a car dealer, be all about fancy cars. I've done that, I've never gotten the satisfaction out of driving a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini or living in a fancy house or wearing a $10,000 suit as I did when I fed an innocent, hungry animal. You will not understand the joy that I feel. And I still do that. I'm back home in the U.S., and every day we feed stray animals in our neighborhood. And I never, I didn't even think we had stray animals in this country. But I guess we do, because every night there's animals that come into our neighborhood and we feed them. My daughter, her job before she goes home to school, put out the food for these cats. Before dinner, she puts out food again for them. We built a little setup. Now it's getting cold, so my wife and we're going to build some enclosures and stuff for animals, where we put hay and insulation in these Tupperware containers so that we can provide. They're out in the cold, so at least they'll have some kind of warmth for them. I don't want to drag this on too much. Join me on this journey of how I can help animals. Check back later for another episode. Thank you.